Hi guys, Esther here from Esther-Astro-Healing. Thank you for your time, for tuning to my channel and for your support and all the positive messages I'm receiving from you. It's meant absolutely a lot to me. Thank you for the emails we're receiving as well. If sometimes it takes us a few days to respond, so my apologies with the busy schedule, but I definitely or usually will always acknowledge any emails received from you. So if you do have any questions or you're looking for personal session, I'm looking forward to connect with you. Now, this video I wanted to make just kind of to give you understanding about what's happening in the sky, because we have only 8 days left in February. And, February initially, when you watch one of my videos, I did mention that February it's one of the most intense day of the beginning of the year. We're going to have a few in October, November, but February definitely going to leave impact in history, so to say, right? And it's only 8 days left until March. March is going to be less heavy, but March, we're going to have some very karmic accumulation, which is really going to as well help us to move forward with new understanding. Now, just to for you to share what's happening in the sky, if you look at right now, today, by the way, it's February 23rd. And what one of the main aspects today with the change, the Mars square Neptune. Now, let's first really understand what is really square represent. It's represent the conflict energy. It's something then you're not flexible. You know how we have expression, this person is too square, he's too narrow. So this is exactly how the energy represent. And Neptune can, Neptune represent completely two opposite energies, right? It can represent, it's represent music, it represent creativity, it's represent outside box thinker. It's represent, but in the same time, illusion and lie. And when Mars square Neptune, we're going to receive some information which is has nothing to do with real truth and reality, and especially because everything right now, most of the signs and sign of Capricorn, which is sign of government, a lot of information coming from that side, it's not really revealed to us, and many of us start to wake up and understand what is the really important to be strong, spiritually strong, especially in nowadays, and not to be shaken by so many events and so many turbulence. So another thing happening on February 24, we have Mercury square Chiron. And what's happened as well on February 24, because it's going to be a couple of things will be squaring. We have square tomorrow as well, continue Mercury square Chiron, and as well we have Venus square Neptune, right? Because Venus, if you notice, Mars start day before, and then we have Venus, and this is exactly what's going to happen when Mars going to enter inside of the Capricorn, and Venus going to enter day after. So Venus, so to say, one day delay. She's so to say the falling in the Mars, right? The falling in the warrior. So for the next few days, especially, and then February 25th, by the way, we have a Mercury square Uranus. So for the next few days, we have a very heavy squares. I do recommend for you guys to watch less media right now, to give yourself a break. The main work to accumulate your energy, to meditate, to become more stronger, because what's coming for the next few months will be, the cosmos require from us to gain new way of understanding and not to connect to the world of illusion, and to really know what information to pick up and what information completely block ourselves from it. Okay, so especially for the next few days, my recommendation to give yourself so to say detox, to study spirituality, to listen to anything which is can elevate you. Don't communicate with anyone can produce aggressive energy. You don't need to respond to it. Okay, by silence in this case is much stronger than any words. The Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, they still in direct motion. So they, so to say, in a more quiet position until they will be activated by any other aspects. Now, what really important thing for us to understand, really the one of the biggest events going to happen is on February 26th. Mars enter Capricorn. And when Mars, let's first understand what is the Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn in Hebrew Shabtai is the ringed gas giant. It's associated with time regulation and associated with the time in a way of restriction of the time, to slow, so to say. Saturn symbolize hard work, professional achievements, and steadfast, resilience, so to say. On the other side, and more challenge side, Saturn can be harsh and completely unemotional. It's forcing us, so to say, to learn through tough love, difficult challenges. So this planet, it's like an old guru, and it's showing us, it's not really showing us, easy affection. You need to earn affection from Saturn. And just for us to deeply understand Saturn in our personal chart, usually Saturn really starts to activate in our chart in the age 38, except some chart depends where Saturn is. If Saturn, for example, in the second house, or Saturn, for example, in the 11th house, in the exaltation houses, Saturn even start to activate his energy and support, so to say, in age 34 to 36. But in most of the time, it starts to activate in age 38. Saturn is the ruler of our birth charts. You should understand that, guys. Saturn is something who, without Saturn, without understanding work with Saturn, we cannot work on our tikkun. And another example I will give you, let's say, because Saturn represents Shabbat, and it's represent, when men put if you ever notice, when men pray, they put, like a black, made from leather. I'm referring to Jewish men when they pray. It's called tehillim, so tefillin. So when you will see the square on the forehead, this square represents Saturn. So Saturn do not like when you don't pronounce properly prayers. He do not like when you promise to be on time for your community and you are not on time. I'm just giving you the hints. This is how to work with Saturn. If you working on your prayers, if you're working on your consciousness, to be really truthful, to be really, Saturn love tough spirituality, not washy-washy, not like just to smile, to be nice, and to be pretend, or even not to pretend, to be over nice. It's not good either, right? There's no balance. So spiritual person, he's get to the point when he's constantly balanced. He's not overexcited and he's not overset. This is exactly the Saturn. Another thing to understand how Saturn, the nature of the Saturn, because Saturn take over 2.5 years to change one planet to another, and not like a Mars. Mars change much quicker. So therefore they operate with different energy. And then his retrograde each year, Saturn, over 140 days, right? So this is what Saturn, it's really important for us to understand Saturn energy, okay? Now, what about Mars? Mars in Kabbalistic astrology, you remember, known as the red planet. It's called Ma'adim. It's represent, letter Dalit, and because it's a Dalit known, because Saturn, Mars, it's planet of Scorpio, so two letters together, it's Dalit known. What is Dalit known? It's represent dinim, right? It's represent court, it's represent judgment. And Mars in astrology, they call malefic planet, but passion, energy, war. But we cannot really put Mars in that close environment, because Mars, it's much more. It can work for you wonders if you know how to use. It's like electricity. It can create short circuit and kill someone, but if you know how to use electricity, it will provide you so much light. Because and Mars, it's night planet, so it's really important where in your chart. And if it's in your chart as a night, in your half of the planet, in your so to say, in a low dimension of your on your chart, or it's in higher. Because if it's in a day chart, it's a little bit more challenging because it's night planet. But if it's in a night chart, it's actually helping you. And another thing for us to understand, Mars, people generally really misunderstand the Mars, and they call that planet. It's absolutely not. It's very powerful planet. Like I said before, it can work really miracles, again, when you really know how to work with this tremendous energy. Now, what's happened right now in the sky? Let's dive in more deep. Another thing, just for to remind, every time when I work on a video and I'm showing you what's happening in the sky, I want you to notice something really important. You see, this is the north node and this is the south node, right? So it's called Ketu, some of you knows, and Zeracho. Look what's happened here. All planets between, there's really nothing here. So what it's mean? We're going through right now such a tikkun, such a incarnation process. Everything on one side, it's really want us to prepare. It's really intense, by the way, when it's everything, all the planets between two nodes, it's become very karmic. Anything we do, anything we say, we right away see results. So you can see over here on my screen, I put chart on February 26th, and there's a reason for it. As I mentioned, Mars, the Ma'adim, enters Capricorn. Now, when Mars enters Capricorn, especially if you have Mars in your chart, it's one of the best position for Mars, because Mars using the Capricorn energy to activate your drive to work, to success. But again, it's really depends if there's any other guest inside, right? Now, but what's happened here? A Capricorn right now, not alone. He has his own Lord, Shabtai, Saturn inside. And Saturn do not like Mars, because Mars is like a young man soldier who sometimes uncontrollable, using his knife or his arsenal. And Saturn does not like that. So Saturn usually really challenge Mars. And what's happened here, we have a Pluto here as well, which is Pluto aiding, and Pluto and Mars, they work together. So Saturn and Pluto, by the way, it's represent army as well, but it represent behind the scene. It represent CIA, FBI, KGB. It represent all this behind the scene. You never know what's really happening. And now it's with the Mars. So we really need to be aware of that. The only one good news, I will give you example. Mars in Capricorn. There's let's say you're going to the court to receive the final judgment, and the judgment will be positive, and after the judgment, you will receive check. But now you're going to the court, because the Capricorn represent government, it represent a big it represent law in a way through the government. And now you're going to the court, but they're sitting different judge as a Capricorn, as a Saturn, and now you actually get different judgment. Okay, so you're not going to really benefit from it. But what's going to happen if you go into 27? We do have our beautiful Venus getting slowly, actually on 28. She's already entering, and she conjunct completely Mars. So she's going to help to sweeten a little bit energy between Saturn and Mars, because Saturn loves Venus. But what's happened, because there's because there's a Pluto going to create jealousy. Plus we have Moon entering Capricorn. And Moon does not like to be in Capricorn, because if you look at it, Moon came from Cancer, right? From Cancerian energy. And another thing, the challenge for Mars as well, because Mars in opposition with Cancer. So what's happened, we have for the next few days, starts from 26 until March 1st, we're going to have, so to say, parrot, celebration of planets, whatever you can imagine. So look what's happened here. We have a Mercury. It's invisible right now. We have a Saturn. We have a Pluto. We have Mars, and we have Venus. Please, guys, whatever connect to the personal relationship, not jealousy, not start to look what you said, but your intention was different. So don't start this conflict with anyone, because this is the Pluto is going to really add poison to this combination. So Saturn gonna really, taking care of this, and government, and this is everything in the place of government in the Capricorn, right? And especially for Canada, it's Canadian chart. It's in the eighth house of transformation. For the next guys, Canadians, especially for you guys, and in the United States as well, we're really, really connected with energetical force, especially the East Coast, because it's more connected to Canadian side. I really recommend for you guys to not to be fitted by illusion and do not create any anger inside. It's not going to help right now, because right now they abusing the government, abusing the power, the way how they trying to pursue and show you the reality they want you to see. Okay, so don't forget, we live in the ulam of sheker in Hebrew. It's the world of lie, and this is right now like really, really, really what's happening. So it's really important for you to understand. I kind of wanted to give you hints, guys, especially until March 1st. I'm going to make completely separate video about March 1st, because start from the whole month of March, just for you to understand. Another thing, February 28th, I want to show you, Rahu will be trying Mars in 1 degree in Taurus. Let me end this over here. So look at this. We have Rahu in Taurus, right? And it's trying, yes, it's trying Mars, and Mars going to be in 1 degree. And I will try to be, and with Taurus and Capricorn, and it's like something cooking on the government level. And but the good news, guys, I have to tell you, even by end of this year, so many things will fall apart on the government level. We're going to start to these new leaders will come out. We never even heard about we never heard the names. Remember, the people who born, souls who born in 80s and 90s, now they come into the government, and this is the new souls. This is the souls of the future. They're not going to handle and take anymore the illusion of the souls who brought from 40s, 50s, and 60s, even though between we have a lot of souls who came to help, but we have as well a lot of, a lot of energy, which is they try to carry on. Like if you look at what's happened in Russia and in Ukraine, the leaders there, especially Putin, he's still holding on to the old illusion of things, but Cosmos not going to allow him to do this. His days, its numbers as a leader. I do believe even him, he's not going to stay in Russia longer than a year. Next year is going to be showing, I'm going to make another chart reading for Putin, for Vladimir Zelensky, for Ukraine and Russia. I will do charts as well. So just guys, tune into my channel. So this information, let's just summarize, okay? Let's understand. So this information just for us to showing us then we're capable, and we need to know how to transform. There's nothing, nobody needs to be killed, nobody needs to be, so to say, harshly removed. It's all about transformation. It's also about how we, by seeing what's happened, what else we can transform inside of us. Remember, outside only can be changed only when you really change inside. Because when you change inside, even the grass greener outside. This is how universe work. Do not tune into this illusion. Do not let any anger or other people illusion to feed you. Just stay connected, stay kind. Is more love you're gonna give, is more negativity you can cancel. This is how universe work. There's nothing new under the sun. So I wish you guys many, many blessings. I hope this information is gonna serve you well. And I'm looking forward to connect with you more. All the best. Bye-bye.